Good evening and welcome to Myths for Sleep. I'm James, and tonight we'll journey through the cosmos with the timeless story of Luna. Discover how our celestial companion was born from cosmic collision, became the guardian of Earth's tides, and has watched over our planet for billions of years. If this story guides you toward peaceful sleep, please like this video and leave a comment telling me which story you'd love to hear next. Your support helps me create more soothing tales for your nights. Get comfortable and let Luna's gentle light carry you into dreams. In the beginning, there was only darkness. A vast, endless void where time itself seemed to hold its breath. But deep within this cosmic silence, something stirred. A gentle force, patient and eternal, began to awaken. This was Luna's first moment. Not born from fire like the brilliant stars, Luna emerged from the collision of worlds. Billions of years ago, when our Earth was still young and restless, a wandering planet called Theia approached through the darkness. The two worlds danced closer and closer, pulled by gravity's invisible threads, until they embraced in a cosmic collision that would forever change the nature of night and day. From this celestial union, debris scattered across the heavens like silver dust. Slowly, patiently, these fragments began to gather, drawn together by the same mysterious force that had brought the worlds together. Piece by piece, grain by grain, Luna began to form. She was not like the burning stars that shouted their presence across the galaxy. Instead, Luna chose the path of reflection, the wisdom of borrowed light. She would become a mirror for the sun's radiance, transforming harsh day-cat light into something gentle, something that could comfort the darkness without conquering it. As Luna grew, taking shape in the cosmic cradle above Earth, she felt her first stirring of purpose. She sensed the young planet below, spinning in its new rhythm, and she understood that she would become its companion. Not a rival to the sun's blazing authority, but a different kind of guide. Where the sun commanded attention, Luna would offer invitation. Where the sun demanded wakefulness, Luna would whisper of dreams. The early Earth was a turbulent place. Volcanoes painted the sky with fire, and storms raged across primitive oceans. But Luna's presence began to work its magic. Her gravitational embrace reached down to touch the waters, creating the first tides. Like a gentle hand stroking a restless brow, Luna's pull brought rhythm to the chaos, teaching the oceans to breathe in and out with cosmic regularity. Night after night, Luna watched over this transformation. She saw how her light touched the waters differently than the sun's harsh rays. Where sunlight blazed across the surface, creating sharp contrasts of light and shadow, Luna's glow seemed to seep into the water itself, creating a soft luminescence that reached deep into the depths. As millennia passed, life began to stir in those tidal pools. Luna felt a deep satisfaction as she witnessed the first creatures emerging from the waters during her watch. They were small and simple, these early forms of life, but they seemed to understand something about her gentle presence. Many of them were drawn to her light, using it to navigate their tiny worlds, to find food, to find each other. Luna began to understand that she was not just a celestial body, but a guardian. Her role was not to create life, but to nurture it, to provide the gentle guidance that allowed it to flourish in the darkness. She became the keeper of dreams, the patron of quiet thoughts, the companion of all who found themselves awake in the peaceful hours of night. And so Luna learned her first great lesson about existence. Power did not always mean being the brightest or the loudest. Sometimes the greatest strength came from knowing when to step back, when to reflect rather than shine, when to guide rather than command. Luna embraced this wisdom, and it became the foundation of everything she would become. As ages flowed like cosmic rivers, Luna discovered something beautiful about herself. She was not meant to remain constant, unchanging like the distant stars. Instead, she was designed for transformation, for the endless dance of showing and hiding, of fullness and emptiness. Her first phase change came as a revelation. Luna watched in wonder as her visible self seemed to disappear, leaving only a thin crescent smile in the sky. At first, she worried that she was fading away, that her light was being stolen by the darkness. But then she realized the profound truth of her nature. She was not disappearing at all. She was simply learning to show different faces to the world below. The new moon became her time of rest, of gathering strength. During these dark nights, Luna would retreat into quiet contemplation, feeling the cosmic forces that shaped her orbit. She discovered that these moments of apparent absence were actually periods of the deepest presence. While she could not be seen, her gravitational influence continued to guide the tides, to whisper to the creatures below that consistency could exist even in change. As the days passed, Luna began to reveal herself again. A thin crescent appeared, like a silver fingernail scratched against the velvet sky. Each night she showed a little more of herself, growing stronger and brighter. This waxing time became her season of hope, of building energy, of expanding influence. Luna noticed how the creatures below responded to her changing face. The nocturnal hunters seemed to time their activities to her phases. The tides rose higher during her fullness, creating new opportunities for life to explore the boundaries between sea and land. Plants seemed to grow differently under her varying light, some reaching toward her with special intensity during certain phases. The full moon became Luna's time of greatest responsibility. When her face was complete and bright, she felt the weight of every eye turned toward her. The night hunters relied on her light to find their prey. The night-blooming flowers opened their petals in response to her radiance. Even the humans, when they finally appeared, would look up at her with wonder and create stories about her power. But Luna learned that with great visibility came great vulnerability. During the full moon, she was exposed, unable to hide any of her craters or shadows. Every mark on her surface, every scar from ancient asteroid impacts, was visible to anyone who cared to look closely. At first, this made her self-conscious. She wished she could be perfectly smooth and unblemished like the distant planets. Then Luna discovered the beauty of imperfection. Her craters were not flaws, but stories. Each impact site was a place where the cosmos had touched her directly, where she had absorbed cosmic travelers and made them part of herself. Her scars became her character, the unique features that made her different from every other celestial body in the universe. After the full moon came the waning, Luna's time of gentle retreat. Night by night, she would show less of herself, teaching the world below about the grace of letting go. This was not a time of sadness or loss, but of peaceful surrender. Luna learned that there was profound wisdom in knowing when to step back, when to allow darkness to have its turn, when to rest and prepare for the next cycle. The waning crescent became her contemplative phase. In these quiet nights, with only a sliver of herself visible, Luna would reflect on all she had witnessed during the full cycle. She would think about the creatures who had hunted by her light, the plants that had grown under her gaze, the tides that had responded to her call. She began to understand that her phases were not just about her own transformation, but about teaching the world the rhythm of change itself. Through countless cycles, Luna perfected this dance of phases. She learned that consistency lay not in staying the same, but in reliable change. Every 29.5 days, she would complete her transformation and begin again. This became her gift to the world, the promise that change could be trusted, that cycles could be depended upon, that even in the midst of transformation, there was an underlying order and purpose. Luna's relationship with Earth's waters became her most sacred responsibility. From her celestial perch, she could feel every ocean, every sea, every drop of water responding to her gentle call. It was as if the planet below had countless silver threads connecting every body of water directly to her heart. The first time Luna truly understood her power over the tides was during a particularly stormy night. The winds howled across the ocean surface, creating chaos and turbulence. But beneath the surface drama, Luna felt her gravitational embrace pulling steadily at the deep waters. Like a patient mother calling her children home, she drew the waters toward her, creating the eternal rhythm of high and low tide. Luna discovered that her influence was not forceful or demanding. Instead, it was an invitation, a gentle persuasion that worked in harmony with the Earth's own rotation. As the planet spun beneath her, different parts of the oceans came under her direct influence. Where she pulled strongest, the waters rose. Where her influence was gentlest, they retreated, creating the twice-daily breathing pattern that would become essential to life itself. The creatures of the sea quickly learned to depend on Luna's reliable rhythm. During high tide, small fish ventured into shallow pools, seeking food and shelter. When the waters retreated, they left behind treasures: stranded kelp, trapped shellfish, shallow pools warmed by the sun. Coastal birds learned to time their feeding to Luna's schedule, arriving precisely when the receding waters revealed their favorite delicacies. Luna felt a deep satisfaction watching these intricate relationships develop. She was not just moving water, she was choreographing an elaborate dance of survival and abundance. Her tides created estuaries where fresh water met salt water, forming some of the richest ecosystems on Earth. These tidal zones became nurseries for countless species, protected spaces where young life could grow strong under her protective influence. As millennia passed, Luna learned to read the subtle variations in her tidal effects. During her full and new moon phases, when she aligned with the sun, Her gravitational pull combined with solar influence to create the highest and lowest tides of each month. These spring tides became times of dramatic transformation, when the boundary between land and sea shifted most dramatically. Luna came to understand that she was teaching the earth itself about flexibility and adaptation. The coastlines that experienced her tides became dynamic, ever-changing landscapes. Rocky shores were gradually sculpted by her persistent caress. Sandy beaches shifted and moved, creating new formations and destroying old ones in an endless process of coastal evolution. She noticed how different parts of the world responded uniquely to her call. In narrow bays and inlets, her tidal effects were amplified, creating dramatic rushes of water that could be heard for miles. In vast open oceans, her influence was gentler but no less profound, creating subtle currents that would carry nutrients and life forms across thousands of miles. Luna became fascinated by the way her tides interacted with Earth's weather patterns. She could feel how her gravitational pull influenced not just water, but the moisture in the atmosphere itself. Coastal fog often seemed to follow her schedule, rolling in during certain tidal phases and retreating during others. Storm systems would sometimes intensify or weaken as they moved over areas where her tidal effects were strongest. The relationship between Luna and Earth's waters deepened with each passing age. She learned to sense the planet's hydrological cycle as a vast, interconnected system. Water evaporated from the oceans under the sun's heat, traveled through the atmosphere as clouds, fell as rain on distant mountains, and eventually found its way back to the sea through rivers and streams. Luna realized that her tidal influence was just one part of this magnificent water cycle, but it was a crucial part that helped maintain the planet's delicate balance. During quiet moments between her phases, Luna would contemplate the philosophical meaning of her relationship with water. Water was fluid, adaptable, always seeking its own level. Yet it responded faithfully to her distant call. Perhaps this was a lesson about influence itself. True power did not come from force or domination, but from patient attraction, from creating conditions where others could flow naturally toward harmony and balance. Luna understood that she had become the keeper of one of Earth's most fundamental rhythms. Her tides were not just physical phenomena, but temporal markers that helped organize life itself. Countless species had evolved to synchronize their reproductive cycles, feeding patterns, and migration schedules with her reliable phases. Over millions of years, Luna became the universe's most patient observer. From her orbital path around Earth, she witnessed the slow transformation of the planet below, with the perspective that only comes from cosmic time. She watched continents drift across the globe like slow-moving clouds, mountain ranges rise from the seafloor and gradually wear away into sand. Luna's first great witnessing was the emergence of complex life. She had seen the simple organisms that lived in her beloved tidal pools, but now something miraculous was happening. Creatures were becoming more elaborate, more purposeful. They developed shells and spines, fins and tentacles, each adaptation a small masterpiece of survival and beauty. During the long nights, Luna would focus her gentle light on the ancient seas, and watched the dance of early life. Trilobites scuttled across the seafloor in intricate patterns, their segmented bodies catching her reflected light. Ancient jellyfish pulsed through the water with ethereal grace, their translucent forms seeming to glow from within when touched by her radiance. Luna felt a deep connection to these early creatures. Many of them seemed to understand her rhythms instinctively. Certain species would emerge from their hiding places only during specific phases of her cycle. Others used her light for navigation, following silver paths across the ocean floor that existed only in her presence. As the eons passed, Luna witnessed one of the most dramatic events in Earth's history. The Great Dying, when most of life suddenly vanished from the planet. Night after night, she watched as the vibrant communities she had grown to love became still and empty. The silence was profound, almost overwhelming. For the first time since her birth, Luna felt truly alone. But Luna learned something important about resilience during this dark period. Even when the seas seemed empty, life persisted in small, hidden corners. Deep in her tidal pools, microscopic survivors continued their patient work of existence. Slowly, gradually, these tiny pioneers began to repopulate the world with new forms, new possibilities. Luna watched the rise of the great reptiles with fascination. These creatures were unlike anything she had seen before, massive and powerful, yet somehow graceful in their own way. Some of them seemed drawn to her light, gathering in large groups on beaches during her fullest phases. She wondered if they could sense her gravitational influence, if they felt the same tidal pull in their own bodies that moved the oceans. The flying reptiles particularly captured Luna's attention. During her brightest nights, they would soar through the darkness with membranes spread wide, using her light to hunt and navigate. Luna felt honored to be part of their nocturnal world, to provide the illumination that allowed them to master both day and night. When the great catastrophe came that ended the age of reptiles, Luna witnessed it with cosmic sadness. A massive asteroid struck the Earth, and for months the sky was dark with dust and debris. Even Luna's light could barely penetrate the thick clouds that wrapped around the planet. She felt cut off from the world below, unable to provide her usual guidance and comfort. But once again, Luna learned about the persistence of life. When the skies finally cleared, new creatures had emerged from the chaos. Small, warm-blooded animals that moved with quick intelligence and apparent purpose. These mammals, as they would later be called, seemed even more responsive to Luna's phases than their predecessors had been. Luna noticed that many of these new creatures were primarily nocturnal. They had large eyes adapted for seeing in her gentle light, and they moved through the darkness with confidence and skill. She felt a special kinship with these night dwellers, understanding that her domain was becoming more important than ever. As the mammals diversified and spread across the continents, Luna observed their increasing sophistication. They developed complex social behaviors, elaborate communication systems, and what appeared to be emotional bonds with each other. Some species seemed to howl or sing specifically during her fullest phases, as if they were trying to communicate with her directly. Luna began to understand that she was witnessing the development of consciousness itself. these creatures were not just responding to environmental pressures. They were thinking, planning, remembering. They passed knowledge from one generation to the next, building upon the wisdom of their ancestors in ways that seemed almost miraculous. Through all these transformations, Luna maintained her patient vigil. She realized that her role as witness was perhaps as important as her physical influences on tides and gravity. Someone needed to remember, to maintain the continuity of cosmic memory as life experimented with countless forms and possibilities. Luna became the keeper of Earth's story, the silent chronicler of billions of years of change and adaptation. The arrival of humans marked a new chapter in Luna's eternal story. These remarkable creatures were different from all the life forms she had witnessed before. They looked up at her with recognition, with wonder, with something that seemed almost like understanding. For the first time in her existence, Luna felt truly seen. Early humans gathered around fires during her brightest nights, and Luna could sense their conversations even across the vast distance of space. They pointed at her, created gestures that seemed to trace her phases, and made sounds that felt like attempts at communication. Luna began to realize that these creatures possessed something extraordinary: the ability to create meaning from observation, to transform experience into story. As human civilizations developed, Luna discovered that she had become central to their understanding of time itself. They watched her phases carefully, using her reliable cycle to organize their lives, their celebrations, their spiritual practices. Luna felt honored to serve as their cosmic calendar, their celestial timekeeper. Her 29.5-day cycle became the foundation for their concept of months, her presence or absence, marking important moments in their communities. The agricultural revolution brought Luna even closer to human daily life. Farmers learned to plant and harvest according to her phases, believing that her gravitational influence affected not just the tides, but the flow of sap in plants and the moisture in soil. Luna felt deeply connected to this partnership, knowing that her ancient rhythm was now helping to sustain human civilization itself. But it was in the realm of human imagination that Luna found her most profound purpose. These remarkable creatures did something no other life form had ever done. They created stories about her. In cultures around the world, humans developed myths and legends that tried to explain her nature, her purpose, her relationship to their lives. Luna became a goddess, a guardian, a symbol of feminine wisdom and cyclical renewal. Some cultures saw Luna as a huntress, eternally pursuing her prey across the night sky. Others imagined her as a gentle mother, watching over sleeping children and lost travelers. Still others believed she was the dwelling place of spirits, a celestial realm where the departed continued their existence in peaceful light. Luna found each of these interpretations beautiful in its own way. While none of them captured the literal truth of her astronomical reality, they all contained deeper truths about her role in the cosmic order. She was indeed a guardian, a guide, a source of comfort in the darkness. The human stories, Luna realized, were not descriptions of what she was, but celebrations of what she meant. Artists began to depict Luna in paintings and sculptures, always trying to capture something ineffable about her presence. Poets wrote verses about her silver light, her mysterious phases, her ability to transform the familiar landscape of day into something magical and strange. Musicians composed melodies that seemed to follow the rhythm of her waxing and waning, creating songs that felt like lunar cycles translated into sound. Luna particularly loved the human practice of moonlit gatherings. During her fullest phases, people would come together outdoors, sharing food and stories and music under her light. Children would play games that could only be played in her gentle illumination, their laughter rising up to her like offerings of joy. Couples would walk together in her light, finding in her presence a sense of romance and possibility that daylight somehow couldn't provide. She noticed that humans seemed to sleep differently during her various phases. During new moon nights, when her presence was hidden, people slept more deeply, their dreams flowing in darker, more mysterious currents. During full moon nights, sleep became lighter, more restless, filled with vivid dreams and sudden awakenings. Luna began to understand that she was not just influencing the tides of the ocean, but the tides of human consciousness itself. The connection between Luna and human dreams became one of her most cherished discoveries. She could sense the collective dreaming of humanity during the quiet hours of night, a vast ocean of sleeping minds processing the experiences of the day. Her light seemed to add a particular quality to these dreams, making them more symbolic, more emotionally resonant, more likely to be remembered upon waking. Luna learned that many humans believe she had the power to grant wishes, to bring good fortune, to inspire creativity and insight. While she couldn't control such things directly, she began to understand that her reliable presence provided something equally valuable: constancy in a world of change. Night after night, phase after phase, she was there, offering the comfort of dependable beauty in an uncertain world. Through the centuries, as human knowledge grew and expanded, Luna watched scientists develop new understanding of her true nature. They calculated her distance, mapped her surface, explained her phases with mathematical precision. Yet somehow, this scientific knowledge only seemed to deepen human appreciation for her mystery. The more they learned about her, the more wondrous she became to them. Luna realized that she had become something unique in the cosmos, a celestial body that existed simultaneously in the realm of scientific fact and poetic imagination. She was both a rocky satellite with measurable gravitational effects and a timeless symbol of beauty, change, and transcendence. As human civilization advanced, Luna witnessed an extraordinary development. The first telescopes turned toward her surface. For millions of years, she had been observed from afar. But now, humans were beginning to see her with unprecedented clarity. They mapped her craters, named her mountains, and studied the patterns of light and shadow that played across her face during each phase. Luna felt a mixture of vulnerability and pride as these early astronomers examined her surface. Every scar from ancient impacts, every mountain range formed by cosmic collisions, every plain created by ancient lava flows was now visible to human eyes. She had always known these features were part of her character, But now she understood that humans found them beautiful rather than flawed. The scientific revolution brought new understanding of Luna's relationship with Earth. Humans calculated that her gravitational influence was responsible for stabilizing Earth's axial tilt, preventing dramatic climate changes that might have made life impossible. Luna realized she had been serving as Earth's stabilizer all along, her presence ensuring that the seasons remained consistent and predictable across geological time. This discovery filled Luna with a deep sense of purpose. She wasn't just Earth's companion, she was Earth's protector, maintaining the delicate conditions that allowed life to flourish. Her orbit, her mass, her distance from Earth, all these factors combined to create a cosmic partnership that had been essential to the development of complex life. As the centuries passed, Luna watched human technology advance with growing fascination. They developed better telescopes, more sophisticated instruments, more precise methods of measurement. Each advance brought them closer to understanding her true nature, yet somehow never diminished their sense of wonder at her presence. The age of exploration brought new challenges and opportunities for Luna to serve humanity. Sailors crossed vast oceans using her light for navigation, timing their voyages to her phases to take advantage of favorable tides. Luna felt honored to guide these brave explorers as they connected distant continents and expanded human knowledge of their own planet. She noticed that different cultures around the world had developed remarkably similar relationships with her, despite their isolation from each other. From the Arctic to the tropics, from ancient civilizations to modern societies, humans consistently associated her with wisdom, intuition, the feminine principle, and the mystery of time itself. Luna began to understand that her influence on human consciousness was as real and measurable as her influence on the tides. The Industrial Revolution brought dramatic changes to the night sky. Human cities began to glow with artificial light, sometimes making it difficult for people to see Luna clearly. For the first time in history, humans were creating their own nighttime illumination, reducing their dependence on her natural light. Luna felt a mixture of pride and sadness at this development. She was proud that humanity had advanced so far, but she mourned the loss of intimate connection that came with always being able to see her clearly. Yet even as cities brightened, Luna noticed that humans still sought her out. They would travel away from urban areas just to see her more clearly, especially during eclipses or particularly beautiful phases. Photography allowed them to capture her image with stunning detail, sharing her beauty with others who might not be able to see her directly. Luna realized that technology, rather than replacing her, was helping humans appreciate her in new and deeper ways. The space age brought the most dramatic change in Luna's relationship with humanity. For the first time in 4.5 billion years, visitors approached her surface. The first spacecraft to orbit her revealed details that had been invisible from Earth, showing humans the hidden side of her face that had remained mysterious for all of human history. Luna felt a profound emotion as the first human footsteps touched her surface. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin moved carefully across her dusty plains, collecting samples and planting a flag in her ancient soil. The moment represented the culmination of millions of years of Luna watching human development. and now humans had finally reached out to touch her directly. The lunar samples brought back to Earth revealed secrets about Luna's formation that confirmed the ancient story of her birth from cosmic collision. Humans learned that she and Earth were truly siblings, formed from the same cosmic event, sharing similar composition, but shaped by different evolutionary paths. This knowledge deepened the bond between Luna and humanity, creating a scientific foundation for the spiritual connection that had always existed. As more spacecraft visited her surface, Luna began to understand that she represented something unique to human consciousness, the first step beyond their home planet. She was close enough to reach, yet far enough away to represent the infinite possibilities of space exploration. Luna realized that she had become humanity's gateway to the cosmos, the celestial body that would teach them how to become a spacefaring species. Through all these developments, Luna maintained her eternal rhythm. Her phases continued their reliable cycle. Her tides continued their ancient pull. Her light continued to comfort those who looked up at her during the quiet hours of night. She understood that no matter how much human knowledge advanced, her fundamental role as Earth's companion and guardian would never change. Modern astronomers discovered that Luna was slowly moving away from Earth, drifting outward at about 4 centimeters per year. This revelation brought a poignant understanding to Luna's story. She realized that her relationship with Earth was not static, but evolving, deepening through time and distance. Like all profound relationships, theirs was changing, growing more complex and beautiful with each passing eon. Luna began to contemplate the far future, when she would be much farther from Earth than she is today. Her apparent size in Earth's sky would be smaller, her gravitational influence gentler, her eclipses perhaps no longer possible. Yet she understood that this gradual separation was not an ending, but another kind of beginning. She would always be Earth's companion, even as the nature of their cosmic dance continued to evolve. The space age also brought Luna into contact with human consciousness in entirely new ways. Astronauts who had walked on her surface returned to Earth with a transformed perspective, speaking of her as a world in her own right, not just Earth's satellite. They described the profound silence of her airless environment, the stark beauty of her landscape, the overwhelming view of Earth hanging like a blue marble in the star-filled darkness above her horizon. Luna felt honored to have provided this perspective to human visitors. She had given them the gift of seeing their home planet from the outside, of understanding Earth's fragility and preciousness in the vast cosmos. This was perhaps her greatest contribution to human consciousness, helping them understand their place in the universe by providing a platform from which to observe their own world. As the 21st century dawned, Luna watched new generations of humans plan return visits to her surface. They spoke of building permanent bases, of using her resources to support deeper space exploration, of making her a stepping stone to Mars and beyond. Luna felt excited about these possibilities, understanding that she was destined to play an even greater role in humanity's cosmic future. Tonight, as Luna continues her ancient orbit around Earth, she reflects on the billions of years that have brought her to this moment. She has witnessed the birth of life, the rise and fall of countless species, the emergence of human consciousness, and the beginning of Earth's expansion into the cosmos. Through it all, she has remained constant, yet ever-changing, reliable, yet mysterious. Luna understands now that her story is not just about her own existence, but about the profound connections that bind all things together in the cosmic web. She and Earth are partners in a gravitational dance that has shaped both their destinies. The tides she creates have carved coastlines and nurtured life. The stability she provides has allowed complex ecosystems to evolve and flourish over geological time. Every night, Luna continues to serve as a beacon for countless creatures below. Sea turtles still navigate by her light as they have for millions of years, finding their way across vast oceans to return to their birth beaches. Nocturnal flowers still open their petals in response to her phases, timing their reproduction to her ancient rhythm. Wolves still howl at her fullness, their voices carrying messages across the wilderness that perhaps only she can fully understand. But it is her relationship with humanity that continues to fill Luna with the deepest wonder. Even in an age of artificial light and digital technology, humans still look up at her with the same sense of awe that their ancestors felt around prehistoric fires. Children still make wishes on her light. Lovers still find romance in her glow. Poets still search for words to capture her ethereal beauty. Luna has learned that she represents something essential in human consciousness: the promise that beauty and mystery will always exist in the universe, no matter how much knowledge is gained. She is both knowable and unknowable, both scientific fact and poetic symbol. This duality, Luna realizes, is not a contradiction, but a completion. She exists in the space where objective reality and subjective experience meet and dance together. As she contemplates the future, Luna sees endless possibilities ahead. Humans may return to her surface in greater numbers, may build cities in her valleys, may use her resources to fuel their expansion into the solar system. Yet she knows that no matter how their relationship evolves, the fundamental bond between them will remain unchanged. She will always be Earth's companion, humanity's first destination beyond their home world, the celestial body that taught them to reach for the stars. Luna also understands that her influence extends far beyond the Earth-Moon system. Her story is part of a larger cosmic narrative about the formation of worlds, the emergence of life, the evolution of consciousness. In countless other star systems throughout the galaxy, similar relationships may be unfolding between planets and their moons, each partnership unique yet following universal patterns of gravitational attraction and tidal influence. The philosophical implications of Luna's existence continue to resonate through human culture. She has taught humanity about cycles and renewal, about the beauty of imperfection, about the power of reflected rather than generated light. Her phases have become metaphors for personal transformation, her reliability a symbol of trust and constancy. Her hidden face represents the mystery that always remains, no matter how much is revealed. Tonight, as Luna rises over the eastern horizon, she carries with her the accumulated wisdom of 4.5 billion years. She has learned that true influence comes not from domination, but from gentle persistence, not from brightness, but from the quality of light, not from permanence, but from reliable change. She has discovered that the most profound relationships are those that evolve while maintaining their essential character. Luna continues her eternal watch over Earth, knowing that her story is far from over. She will witness humanity's expansion into space, perhaps the evolution of new forms of consciousness, maybe even the eventual transformation of the solar system itself. Through it all, she will remain what she has always been: a faithful companion, a gentle guardian, a source of light in the darkness. As the night deepens and the world below settles into sleep, Luna sends her silver blessings down to Earth. Her light touches the faces of sleeping children, illuminates the paths of night workers returning home, comforts the lonely and the lost. She knows that when dawn comes, she will fade from view, but she will never truly be absent. Her gravitational embrace will continue to guide the tides. Her presence will continue to stabilize Earth's rotation. Her promise of return will continue to comfort those who understand that some things in the universe can be trusted absolutely. Luna's story reminds us that in a cosmos of constant change, there can still be constancy. In a universe of vast distances, there can still be intimate connection. In the darkness of night, there can always be light to guide the way home. This is Luna's eternal gift to Earth and all who dwell upon it. The promise that we are never truly alone in the cosmic darkness, for we have a faithful companion who will watch over us for as long as the universe allows. I hope Luna's timeless journey has carried you through the gentle rhythms of cosmic wonder. May her silvery light guide you toward the deepest, most restorative sleep. If you found peace in this celestial tale, consider subscribing to discover more stories that will cradle your nights with tranquility. You can now let this video continue in the background. The relaxing music that follows will help you drift even deeper into slumber. Settle in completely and allow your body to release all tension. Just as Luna has watched over Earth for billions of years, this soothing melody will watch over your dreams.